trouble been around? Plenty of things looking to flatline you round here. Yeah, I've been trying to warn everyone, but nobody listens to old Trummer. Corpsec gone, and the auto defense is offline. It's only a matter of time before the ferals come calling. Watch your back, is all I'm saying. It's a bloody bot fest is what it is. The AGI is no longer around to keep watch over the local data net. Everyone and their cousins hacking into the bots, causing all sorts of mischief and mayhem. I never liked those things. Way too many complex circuits interacting with substandard coding for my taste. It's quite simple, really. The Liquid Quicks used to be the big baddies round here, led by a guy named Trenning. He and Poon are cozy from what I hear. I bet Poon's pockets are getting lined, but can I prove it? Of course not. Quicks were never friendly with the Turbo Vipers. Now with Corpsec on, the Vipers suddenly decided to grab some territory. It's an all-out turf war out there, and I'm happy staying right here. Don't be fooled by their brush suits and posh manners. The Rojanils just as soon kill you as look at you. There really ain't much separating them from the Quicks and the Vipers, except maybe they got more creds to their names. And some fancy rules governing how they fuck the indents over. Bloody backstabbers and stimmed-up flatliners, a lot of them. Stay away from the corporate grab teams, friend. Those are as professional as they come. Trained killers. Only the largest multi-corps can afford to keep them on a retainer. They use AGIs to grab property, needed for imprinting the property SI or some such. I make it a point not to fuck with anyone who has direct access to an AGI. Spooky things, if you ask me. Not natural. Yeah, I know things. I get around, but I'm gonna stay as far away from any CGT as I can. I'd rather mess with a nest of starved ferals. Plenty of things will look to kill you lurking around. Which corpse you wondering about? Well, you got the gangs, you got the Rojin, and then you got Onyx Void. That little outfit spans all of Veles, and all the commons too from what I hear. Probably the rest of the known galaxy. Don't fuck with them, and they won't fuck with you. Unless they got a contract for you or some such. And then you're fucked anyway. Better just hope they flatline you on the spot. I hear they like to use their targets for sport now and then. Indents, who try to justify their bollocks existence by worshipping the corporation that owns them. Sort of tragic if you ask me. Then again, I never was one for clubs and groups and teams. More of a loner, me. There's a new influencer leading them, enthusiastic type. Not sure what they hope to accomplish now that the Ascent Group's gone kaput. But to each their own, I guess. MG? Yeah, proper arseholes. Be careful around them. They're a bunch of tools, but they have fierce lawyers that'll go after you like a rabid Jacqueline if they get a chance. It's all business to them. They're as corrupt as anyone, but at least they kept things somewhat under control round here. Can't say as I blame them for leaving their posts. I would too if I didn't get paid. Corpsec disintegrating, things are gonna get a lot worse round here before they get better. I know the deep stink like the back of my paw. Old Trummer been around. Seen the signs. Yeah, there were a lot of shutdowns when the AGI went blank. Security doors and whatnot closing all over the place. It's an automated Corpsec measure. Divide and control, right? Except there's no one left in charge to divide or control nothing. Passages are starting to open up. The gangs are pulping and flatlining one another to see who's got the biggest knob. They're making a feral casserole of the security systems while they're at it. Stimtown set up their own security to cope. Now it's invites only. And probably going to stay that way for a while. There's many tales about that flooding as there are indents in the Warrens. Why haven't they drained that little puddle, you ask? And you wouldn't be the first. There's been plenty of attempts to clear Black Lake, but they've all been derailed in different ways. Sudden budget changes, sudden deaths, so on. Almost as if someone doesn't want the water gone from that place. House stacks are built in clusters, see? Each cluster's run by a stack boss. Supposed to be the one making sure services are running and the habs are, well, habitable. Indents don't get much of a say in what stacks we live in. It's assigned on a needs basis, based on some SI algo. The stack bosses decide in the end, so everybody kisses stack boss arse. Anything to get a few floors up. I'll get a functional rinser or whatever. Own runs cluster 13. He's a tight-fisted balloon wrinkle. Corrupt to the bone. But I have to admit, he does look after us. If only so he can fuck us over himself. A place for organics like you and me. Some call it the beating heart of the arcology, but there's nothing alive about that place. There's endless amounts of hydrogen-cooled bits and bytes. But D-Nexus is also where the bots and monos go to recharge. Unless you're made of silicon, there's nothing for you there, mate. Best stay away. Well, you got the deep stink at the bottom. You're well versed in that sector. Then you got us low-habbers scraping by in the warrens on the lower levels, with the commercial zones, nodes and docks and stuff above us. At the very top, you got the glitzy pinnacle. Need more U-creds than we'd ever make in a lifetime, just to get a glimpse of what it's like up there. The Ascent Group board sits up there too. A foreign wankers. They got us into this mess. I know the deep stink like the back of my paw. You looking for a bit of fun? Well, the gamblers try their luck at the Speed Crust racetrack or the Golden Satori Casino. I get my fix in the cyberscape. Leveling up a new avatar as we speak. Gonna be a drone hunter. Then there's stims. Whatever works for you. Just don't touch anything made for jack-o'-lanterns. Unless you want to fuse every neuron in your brain into a solid block of stupid. I've got to say, mate, you don't look much like the gambling type. Or a stim fiend either, for that matter. Well, that's where we all get our news. If you can call it that, the corporate propaganda they pump out. I've always liked Abbott. Seems like a nice bloke. And I appreciate how he always puts a happy spin on things. Life as an indent's bollocks enough as it is. There's no need to make it worse by waddling in someone else's troubles. I hear Abbott's based right here in our arcology. It doesn't half seem to favour news from round here. Lots of people around who pissed someone off at one point or another, and I got a bounty for it. If you take one out, you can collect from the bartenders. If you bring proof, of course. Bounties are ranked. And the higher the rank, the better the pay. And the bigger the chance you'll end up a bloody smear on the wall. I used to collect the occasional back in the day, but I gave up on that long ago. There's the humans game, man. Any licensed grafter can install your hoax. The good ones might even offer to sedate you before they bring out the knives and lasers. If you got what it takes, they can even upgrade your existing systems. Fine-tune them in different ways. I make a point of seeing them regularly. It doesn't do to have outdated hoax when you rely on them for work. You got the U-creds to spend, you get all sorts of stuff. Guns, tack gear, cyberdecks and whatnot. Oh, and you can find vendors in the strangest of places. Some of them might have some really fancy wares too. If you need to update the nav grid on your imp, you just need to jack into any nav point you find. It'll cost you, but could be worth it. I never was a big spender. Saving up to buy back my contract. Plenty of things will look to kill you lurking round. Some interesting individuals in this here arcology. Ascender to the bone, that one. I see her at the Ascender branch offices every once in a while, talking the usual bollocks about the greatness of the Ascent Group. Don't contradict her though. You don't want to end up on her shit list. Rumour has it she flatlined her own mate after discovering traces of a Malhorse Gelb skin salve in her rinser. Thought it an insult against the Ascent Group. She's not the alpha feral of the bunch though. The Ascender's got a new top influencer leading them. No name yet. And by all rights they should have disbanded. But it's almost as if the Ascent Group collapse only made them stronger. Strange. Rumour has it he's quiche. They're quick thinkers. Too quick if you ask me. No patience. Impulsive. Say he almost broke U+ by hacking into their largest polymer plant. Forced it to churn out nothing but rubber stim toys. Imagine that. An endless line of wiggling knobs in bright colours. Why? Because he didn't like the colour of a new pair of sneakers or some such. Crazy wanker. Yeah, I've heard of him. We Larkians got our own grapevine and word gets around. That's Riser, that one. The number, 438, is an internal OV rank thing. It means he's high up in the food chain. He's a professional. If he flatlines you, you can trust that he's purely business. Either someone paid him, or you breached some contract. Onyx Void is more like a corporation than an organisation. You treat them like that and you'll understand them better. Look, I know you and Poon have got some sort of ongoing agreement, so I'd better keep my trap shut. I blabber too much anyway. Enough to say that I'd skin that scurvy jackal and use his prickly hide to wipe me arse with if I could get away with it. Yeah, we go out for a drink every now and then. Brush up on our mutual hatred. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer and all that. I know the deep stink like the back of my paw.
Should you happen to flatline a scumbag with a bounty on him? That's another one bites the dust. Some U-creds for you.
I appreciate what you did. I just... leave me be, all right?
Don't worry, I won't ask. Could hand it over. I consider myself an artist, and you're... It's more like...
Weather at the pinnacle is still constant.
Ready to jack it.
Hang you up if you got the
Oh, how about some color?
So, here's the deal. The AGI is still quiet, amazing as that is. Rival CGTs are already coming into the arcology to pick the bones clean. We have a chance of true independence here, but we have to act faster than an amped-out feral before some enterprising CGT gobbles up our cluster, and our indent contracts with it. One of the bulbheads you rescued from Malhorst Gelb claims we can funnel energy covertly from the old tokamak down in the deep stink. He says we have a small window of opportunity to do this now, before the reactor is appropriated by some other corporation. I'd rather control the entire tokamak, but we have nowhere near the know-how or equipment to do a property grab like that. You need an AGI for that kind of thing. But if you do this right, the new owners won't notice our little arrangement. I'm not fluent in tech lab, but enough to say that this will be a tricky feral to tame. The bulbhead spoke of installing a double redundancy board through the tokamak ice, soft and hardware. So, you'll have to do this on site. The new owners can't know about the board, or they'll shut it down faster than nug orgasms. We can then use that energy to bolster our automated security systems. I already have a code jockey reworking schemata to allow for that. And let the CGTs come! When the turrets are done, we'll scavenge their stiffs for orcs. Now the bulb head is just that, completely worthless for anything outside a lab. I want you to handle the practical side of things. Get that tokamak working for us! I've uploaded the particulars to your end. Questions? Yeah, thick enough to fry your neurons solid if you ain't careful. And no wonder you don't want it to be easy to mess with a fucking fusion reactor. CorpSec has always relied on automated security systems to keep order. We're gonna repurpose some of it for our own protection. Those turrets pack a serious punch, but we'll need more energy for it to work. That NG rep talked in the end. They all do. We're still missing 5 indents. All of them worked at the XMAT lab in the res dev zone. Could be they just up and disappeared at the same time. I don't believe in coincidences, but what can we do? Can't save them all. If we can just prevent the CGTs from grabbing our stack cluster for long enough, our indent contracts will be voided. That's true independence. Never heard of a corporate grab team? They're specialists, elite. Whenever a corporation collapses, they go in and grab property for their employers. I have no clue how it's done. Wish we could do it ourselves, but you know what wishes are like, right? Yup, same trusty old RBM-5 fusion tokamak which keeps our stacks lit at night. I know you're a sewage specialist, but that makes you perfect for this job. It's all about valves and pipes and stubborn SIs. Yeah, you know, fighting ferals, avoiding gun turrets, pushing buttons, possibly exposing yourself to lethal doses of radiation. Practical. Good. Let's get it done!
energy siphoning plan. Task list. Boost cooling system. Raise energy output. Override distribution hub. Hide modifications from the tokamak SI. Rejoice. Boon note. End task list.
Reconfigure tourist containment to raise energy output.
distribution. Attention. Hub has been previously altered. User unknown. Initiating alternate bypass. Bypass done.
Oh here! That some power surge you just sent our way made me tingle all over. The security systems are online and working for us. Excellent job! Now cover the whole thing up and get back here so we can celebrate. Remember, any new owners cannot know about this.
Ready to install mod patch.
That was refreshing. You should stand down, Indent. We don't want to disintegrate you just yet. Were you trying to create a supernova just now? Because that's what your uninformed meddling with the Taurus containment field would have led to. That your stack boss asked you to do this only confirms his incompetence. Luckily, we are in control now. This tokamak is now the property of Y-Corp. So is your stack cluster, and so is every indent registered there, including yourself. Your indentured contracts have been transferred and renewed in accordance with existing agreements and standard protocol, etc., etc. In short, you belong to us for what remains of your pitiful life expectancy. However, while you have demonstrated an alarming lack of cognitive skills, you have also shown an aptitude for applying lethal solutions to conflicted situations. This might be of some use to Y-Corp. So, we wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment. A trial of sorts. Success will raise you above the filthy mass of regular indents and provide you with certain perks. And you'll be given a chance at earning your freedom. We will set up an operations center in Cluster 13. Come find us there.
about to cause static.
Barrels off leash will be shot.
Žádným kůzkem nejen.
Finally, Y Corp is looking to expand its property appropriation division, and you fit the profile. Barely. If you complete our test assignment, you'll be given a position with one of our corporate grab teams, as the indents call them. I detest the term, but it does describe the work we do. We seek out contested property and transfer ownership of it to Y Corp. Sometimes a competing team is after the same property, then we flatline them. It can be quite satisfying. There are more perks. As a Y Corp CGT operative, you'll have access to select gear, and you'll be covered by a premium Y Corp insurance policy. But first, you have to complete this assignment. We want the complete Ascent Group operations history. It is stored in one of their data vaults. You must locate the correct vault, re-imprint the Vault SI, and upload the desired data to our AGI. Complete this assignment, and you'll get a shot at earning your freedom further down the line. Your success will depend on your brawn trumping your inferior sapien's brain. We expect this will be a considerable challenge. Our comms records show you've already collaborated with that notorious ice fiend Noghead. We suggest enlisting his aid again. Questions? When a corporation defaults on Veles, there is no regulatory body governing its demise. All property belonging to that corporation can, from that moment, be appropriated or taken by any other corporation with the capabilities to do so. We won't burden you with the technicalities, but in short, the process involves imprinting the property governing SI so that it answers only to the new owner. Like the other multi-corps, Y Corp is looking to rapidly expand its holdings within this arcology. Acquiring the Ascent Group operations history will help us prioritize what property to target next. The Ascent Group also rented vault space to other corporations on Veles. Expect a slew of auto-defenses operating at maximum lethality, as well as rival CGTs looking to protect their corporate data. For the time being, Y Corp intends to keep a low profile, so you will have to gain access on your own. Yes, SI imprinting is an extremely delicate procedure. Your imp will be bonded to our AGI, which will perform the actual imprinting. We require you to jack in directly to the SI on site, and our AGI will do the rest. And before you ask, yes, Y Corp has its own AGI. It's a Gen 12, and yes, your access to it will be severely restricted. Y Corp has certain long-term objectives. If you are instrumental in achieving those objectives, we will offer to void your indentured contract and register you as an independent contractor. You'll be a free being, as much as anyone is free on Veles. Very well. We have taken the liberty of bonding your imp with our AGI through the local data nodes. You should expect a slight performance boost. Now get going.
I like Knothead. He wrangles clean code, crisp and immediate. Like death. Destination marked.